Hello, everyone. This time, I bring you a detailed analysis of the power levels from the TV special Bardock, the Father of Goku. Without a doubt, this is a legendary movie within the Dragon Ball universe. For this video, I will assign power levels using more precise calculations and numerical comparisons between characters, which will allow us to analyze each battle in greater depth and with much stronger justification. Without anything else to add, let's begin. Everything begins on planet Kanassa, which was being attacked by Bardock and his comrades. Bardock, in his Oozaru form, possesses a power level of 95,000 units, since we know that in this form Saiyans multiply their base power by 10. Next, we have Toma, whom I estimate to have a battle power of 56,000 units in his Oozaru form. Following him is Fasha, with an impressive power of 45,000 units. After that comes the Saiyan Shuggish, whose Oozaru form I estimate at 32,000 units, and finally Borgos, with a solid power level of 25,000 units. Because of this, it was very easy for all of them to eliminate the planet's inhabitants and conquer it in a short amount of time. Later on, Bardock's squad is presented in their base forms. The Father of Goku had exceptional power for a low-class warrior, as the movie confirms that he and his squad participated in numerous planetary conquests, accumulating countless battles that allowed them to grow stronger over time. Here, it is confirmed that Bardock's power was close to 10,000 units. So I estimate his power level at 9,500 units. As I mentioned before, Bardock became quite strong thanks to the large number of missions carried out for Frieza, so it is logical to estimate high power levels for his squad as well, since they always fought together, and it would be illogical to think that only Bardock grew stronger. In this way, I consider Toma to be the second strongest in the group, granting him a power level of 5,600 units. This estimate is justified during the attack by Dodoria and his henchmen, as Toma was the one who endured the most and managed to survive until Bardock's arrival. Next, we have Fasha, the female Saiyan of the group, to whom I assign a power level slightly lower than Toma's, reaching 4,500 units. After that comes Shuggish, who is very proud of his power and mentions it repeatedly, which is explained by having reached 3,200 units, an outstanding figure for a low-class soldier. Finally, we have Borgos, whom I consider the weakest member of the team, as he had the fewest interactions, so I estimate his power at 2,500 units. However, a survivor from planet Kanassa appears at this point, to whom I estimate a power level of 1,800 units. For an ordinary alien, this power level is quite high, and it could not be any lower, since he had the necessary ability to catch Bardock off guard and deliver a powerful blow to the back of his neck, stunning him for a moment. However, after using almost all of his power in that attack, he is brutally struck by Shuggish, and later eliminated by Toma with a simple ki blast, giving coherence to everything that occurred in this confrontation. After this, Bardock loses consciousness and is taken to planet Vegeta to recover. On the other hand, we are shown a young Nappa, who was waiting for Vegeta while he was fighting a Cyberman. Nappa's power at this point is estimated at around 3,000 units, since this takes place several years before the Saiyan Saga, the stage in which he is known to reach approximately 4,000 units. As for child Vegeta, I estimate an impressive power level of 14,000 units, as he was the strongest Saiyan of his race at that time. This is because, from a very young age, he had already surpassed King Vegeta, a fact confirmed by Vegeta himself during the Namek Saga. Considering that I estimate King Vegeta's power at 12,000 units, a level of 14,000 units for child Vegeta is more than acceptable, especially when taking into account that in the following years he continued to grow stronger until reaching 18,000 units in the Saiyan Saga. Finally, we have the Cyberman, with a power level of 1,200 units, a figure officially confirmed in the Saiyan Saga. Because of this, these creatures pose no threat whatsoever to Vegeta, who eliminates them with complete ease. Hours later, Bardock manages to recover and heads toward planet Mit, as his comrades had already departed in that direction. However, along the way he encounters his son Kakarot, measures his battle power, and determines that it amounts to only 2 units. Faced with this, Bardock becomes deeply disappointed and decides to leave without saying anything else. Once he arrives on the planet, he discovers that all of his comrades have been annihilated. A dying Toma reveals to him that Frieza betrayed them, and at that very moment, Dodoria's subordinates appear. At this point in the story, Bardock has increased his battle power to an estimated 10,000 units, due to having received a minor Zenkai after recovering from his battle on planet Kanassa. As for his opponents, first we have a purple alien, whom I estimate to have a power level close to 4,000 units. This is because none of them were ordinary soldiers in Frieza's army. Rather, they belonged to Dodoria's elite, having been specifically sent to eliminate the Saiyans. With this power difference, Bardock surpasses him by approximately 150%, or in other words, he is 2.5 times stronger. In Dragon Ball, a gap of this magnitude is completely overwhelming, which explains why Bardock eliminates him with a single direct blow to the head. Next, we have the second soldier, whom I estimate to have a lower power level, close to 3,000 units. This is justified by the fact that Bardock manages to grab and immobilize him with extreme ease, demonstrating that the difference in power was enormous. When comparing both levels, Bardock turns out to be more than 3 times stronger than this enemy. After that, the leader of the squad appears, and therefore the strongest of the three, with an estimated power level of 6,000 units. He launches a powerful ki blast that, by mistake, instantly eliminates his own comrade. This makes complete sense, since when comparing both soldiers, the leader was twice as strong, a difference more than sufficient to justify killing him instantly with a single ki attack. As a consequence of this attack, the leader reduces his battle power by an estimated 10% due to energy consumption, leaving him with 5,400 units. Even so, together with the last remaining soldier, he manages to capture Bardock and begin striking him. This occurs mainly because Bardock is distracted by his visions of the future. Nevertheless, it is clearly shown that the blows from Dodoria's squad leader do manage to harm Bardock, which raises the question of how this is possible, if Bardock surpassed him by nearly double in power. The explanation lies in the fact that battle power is divided into 3 main factors: attack, speed, and defense. In my estimation, this soldier's abilities are distributed as follows: 10,200 units in attack, 3,500 units in speed, and 2,500 units in defense. The average of these values results in 5,400 units, which corresponds to his total battle power. The key detail is that his attack value of 10,200 units is more than sufficient for his blows to damage Bardock. Due to the punishment received, Bardock's power is reduced by approximately 8%, leaving him with 9,200 units. Even so, the Saiyan manages to recover and causes the red soldier to strike the green soldier, inflicting brutal damage. For this reason, I assign the green soldier a power level of 3,500 units, since when compared to the squad leader, the latter would surpass him by 50%, a difference fully consistent with what occurred. If we also consider that the green soldier would have a defense of 3,000 units and that the red soldier possesses an attack of 10,200 units, the difference far exceeds 3 times, which explains why he was pierced with a single blow. Finally, Bardock finishes off both enemies with a powerful ki blast. Let us remember that both soldiers had low defense values of 3,000–2,500 units respectively, which once again justifies how easily they were eliminated. After this battle and due to the enormous energy expenditure, Bardock once again reduces his power by 10%, leaving him with 8,280 units, something that is clearly reflected by how visibly exhausted he appears. It is at this moment that Dodoria appears, to whom I assign a power level of 22,000 units, a figure officially confirmed since the Namek saga. When comparing the power levels of Bardock and Dodoria, the difference is completely overwhelming, as Frieza's henchman turns out to be 2.66 times stronger than the Father of Goku. Dodoria wastes no time and immediately launches a powerful ki attack, which I estimate to have a power of 8,800 units, equivalent to 40% of his total power. This is because Dodoria, unlike other warriors such as Goku or Piccolo, does not know how to properly control his ki, and therefore cannot use techniques that concentrate and amplify his battle power. This explains how Bardock managed to survive the attack. However, he is left severely injured, so I estimate that his power is reduced by an additional 50%, finally leaving him at 4,140 units. After this, Bardock returns to planet Vegeta, while Frieza, aboard his ship, also heads toward the same destination, as he plans to completely destroy the planet along with the Saiyans. Aboard the ship is Zarbon, whose power surpasses Dodoria's, reaching 23,000 units, a figure officially confirmed during the Namek saga. Alongside him is Frieza, the most powerful of all by an overwhelming margin, possessing an immense power of 530,000 units in his first form, an official figure mentioned by Frieza himself in the manga during the Namek saga. Now, returning to Bardock, he decides to face Frieza completely alone, as no Saiyan was willing to help him, giving rise to one of the most epic scenes in the entire franchise. Let us remember that, at this point in the story, Bardock was severely weakened, with a power level of only 4,140 units. Even so, he decides to face Frieza. During his advance toward Frieza's ship, Bardock is forced to fight against numerous soldiers from the army. These do not belong to Dodoria's elite squad, so being ordinary soldiers, Bardock is still capable of defeating the vast majority of them. As shown in the battles, the power of these soldiers varies considerably. The weakest are around 600 units, others reach 800, while the strongest are approximately at 1,000 units, and in exceptional cases some may reach up to 1,200 units. For this reason, in large numbers, the soldiers are able to restrain Bardock at times, and toward the end of his advance, the strongest among them manage to hold him back temporarily. However, it is at that moment when Frieza appears. Due to the energy drain suffered from fighting the soldiers, I estimate that Bardock's power decreases by another 10%, leaving him at around 3,726 units. With what little strength he has left, Bardock concentrates all of his power into one final, desperate key attack. Nevertheless, the difference between him and Frieza is completely overwhelming. Without exerting virtually any effort, Frieza launches a supernova that completely disintegrates Bardock's attack and, as a result, Bardock dies along with his planet and all the Saiyans who were there. Finally, we are shown Goku, who arrives on planet Earth and is found by his grandfather Gohan, thus beginning the entire story of Dragon Ball. Thank you for making it to the end. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to stay up to date with upcoming content.